Hello everybody, my name is Khoi. I just want to start by saying that I am one of you guys, or am I? You see, if you watched my video yesterday, I talked about our need as humans to feel belong, to be a part of something that is greater than ourselves, greater than life even, something that transcends time, something that will be here forever, or at least in our collective mind anyways. Who are you? Do you identify with your religion? Do you identify with your sexual orientation, your age group, your social standing, your income, what political party you go for, what part of the world you're living in, your ethnic origins? Don't deny yourself. You want to identify with something. I am Vietnamese, but I am also Australian. Tôi có thể nói tiếng Việt, nhưng tại sao tôi cũng có thể nghĩ trong đầu của tôi bằng tiếng Anh? Why do I think in English and Vietnamese at the same time? You see, sometimes this need to feel belong, this need to identify with a collective body, a collective identity, sometimes this need can override our ability to think rationally and to essentially sustain our species, really. What do I mean by this? Some of the greatest bloodbaths in history, some of the most atrocious events in history of people killing each other, of people attempting to erase a certain race out of the face of mankind, some of these atrocities arose out of our need to identify with a group. Think about it. There wouldn't be any conflict if there weren't any us versus them. You know, take Christianity for example. How many Christians are there in the world? So many, billions of people. If I say that I'm a Christian, I belong to a global army. I can relate to, or I can be a part of this thing that is greater than myself, my faith, Christianity. We all believe in Lord Jesus Christ, who is a man, and he was crucified, and then he rose from the death 3 days later or whatever. If I just take my faith, just one part of my identity, forget about being a Vietnamese, forget about being an Australian, forget about being an incel, just forget about all that. Just take Christianity out of my identity. I can be one of you guys. But do you know, the same Christians that identify with this common belief in Lord Jesus Christ, the same Christians, they fought with each other. There's a big schism. I don't know when it was, but sometimes in history, when the Catholic and then the Protestants and then the Orthodox, they all split. And now we have 43,000 different denominations. And how does it make you feel when I say that they are always at war with each other? And there have been lots of holy wars. And you know, there are people in our society who have dual identities, that seems to be in conflicts with each other at all time. But when they have come to accept those identities as being a seamless, singular part of their identity, there's no need for this conflict anymore. What do I mean by this? I have a friend who is a Buddhist who married a Catholic man, and they are the most beautiful people I've ever met. They have the most beautiful marriage, the most beautiful friendship. And even though there's this conflict within them, their faith is a very big part of their life, yeah? Even though there's a lot of conflicts, I heard a story about her having to convert to Catholicism, but not really. Like, she had to make a vow or something. In the Catholic Church, she has to go through RCIA. If you don't know what that is, it's like Rites of Christianity Initiation for adults. And also her husband, he has to learn a lot about Buddhism. And even when their identities threaten each other, like when they feel like their identities are being threatened, when you come to accept that as part of your identity, of who you are, then there's no us versus them anymore. The line can be blurred. I want to segue that into this channel, what I am about, what I am preaching. When I first started this channel, I identify as a low-tier, low-value Asian man in this dating market. And I wanted to ascend. I wanted to make it. I wanted to achieve the pinnacle of men. I want to become the top 1% of men in which all the women around me will be attracted to me. Do you realize how absurd that sounds? When you have that sort of mindset, you are, I don't know, you're distinguishing yourself from everybody else. It's all about you versus all these different people. I'm not saying this is inherently wrong or that you shouldn't have this mindset, but think about it, man. This pinnacle of man, this perfection of a man, the Giga Chad, it's not realistic. And for you to be following that, for you to pursue that, to become the pinnacle of man, it's inauthentic. Are you just going to the gym? Are you just lifting weights? Are you just learning martial arts because you want to, because that's part of who you are? Or are you doing this because of these famous influencers, these red pillars, these black pillars, these blue pillars, whoever they are? If you identify with one of them, it's over, bros. You will never be me or any of these guys. You will never be a Giga Chad because you are you. I know it sounds very depressing and very black pilled, but this is liberating. You will never be that guy. You can only be this guy. You can only be yourself. So even if you looks max, money max, car max, even if you buy all these materialistic things in order to attract women, in order to level yourself up, you're never gonna be him. You can only be you. So ask yourself this question: what does your heart desire? What do you want? And do that according to your heart. And I'm gonna say something that a lot of you are gonna call me cringe and blue-pilled for, but I say, just be yourself. Because there's already an audience out there who are attracted to you. And even if you level yourself up, even if you do all these different things, there's already an audience out there for you. You already have a fan base. I noticed that when I was on dating apps as well, I seem to always attract one type of women. And they are usually the free-spirited kind of girls, the astrology girls, the Black Lives Matter girls, the veganism girls. They are already attracted to me without me even doing anything. I don't know why, but I just have to accept it. I also pull a lot of the promiscuous, the drug dealing, if you pay me for this, I will exchange sex with you. Those kinds of girls. I just have to accept it, man. That's the kind of woman I attract on dating apps. There's already an audience out there for you. And if you want a different kind of audience to be attracted to you, then ask yourself, who the fuck are you? I'm not saying to give up on self-improvement and to never change and to live in your own way forever. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying you are an open book. You are a page that is being written. You are not a blank page for everybody to start writing in it. You are not a completely formed book. You're not this book that's already been written. Okay? You're always changing. And there's always an audience for you. Real talk. This is liberating. What do I want you guys to take out of this? Just be yourself. And recognize that your identity is not confined to this one thing. Don't swear allegiance to the black pill or the incels or the Chad or the red pillar or the self-improvement guy. You're none of that. You're just one seamless clusterfuck of all these different identities. Okay? Anyways, guys, stay strong, stay moldy, stay lethal, and I'll see you next time. Peace.